Welcome to the BLP for you folks out there in YouTube land. Appreciate you watching. We'll back up a little bit. And Matt was just telling me how he's going to be heading to Vegas. So if you can, hit rewind for me, buddy, and let's run it back.
Yeah. So real quick, I got I run a poker podcast and internally, and one thing we've really been trying to harp on at Pivot Studios is growing the brand more. And so interviewed the co-founders of the Celebrity Poker Tour a few weeks ago, Blake Wynn and Hayes Poulard, and they invited me to go out this Saturday to their celebrity poker event. So that's what I'll be doing this upcoming Saturday in Vegas. Head out tomorrow. Hopefully we'll be interviewing some guys on the side, kind of walking around, shooting some content for them. So really excited, and I got a filmer for it and everything. So just really cool trip coming up. Haven't really done anything like this before, so just really excited.
That is awesome. I think you're going to get some traction from that. That's going to be some really intriguing stuff. I think when I'm cruising around watching content and stuff, my eyes seem to always get locked in on people that are doing the things they're actually talking about, kind of real time. Where that fits in, it's kind of like you break that kind of third wall, or whatever you want to call it, instead of just being in front of a camera talking about something. You're actually doing it at the same time. So it's pretty cool.
Yep, 100%. Yeah, it is. Sorry, my computer, actually, I was like, what is making that sound? And I realized something is going off on my computer. I have no idea what that is, so I'm just going to turn my speaker off. I will find out that later. But no, thank you, Brian. And it's really cool, and it's kind of getting into something like kind of we talked about when we first started working together that I always kind of wanted to do is build the brand, build something cool. And I think this is a great opportunity to really get a lot of eyes, because there will be celebrities there. So the hope is to interview a lot of them, and each of their audiences will tune in and be like, what's this? Bring some eyes to the podcast. So really exciting. Haven't really done anything like this before. Before we went live, we've hired plenty of filmers. We've worked with plenty of filmers, but for client work, we've never really done it for me or for Pivot. So it'd be really cool to just opportunity to get some more high quality content for the brand.
Yeah.
Like we talked about yesterday, working too much, in the business, not enough on it. And so this is working on the business.
For sure.
I'm really excited.
Peel the curtain back and get to know Matt a little bit better, kind of following you around. Are you just going to just record, or are you going to do anything live?
So I'm not really sure yet. Like we were kind of talking about earlier before live is, I'm not 100% sure, what this is going to look like when I get there yet. I know, I'm invited kind of on the guest list from what I've, heard there. And, I'm just, not really sure what to expect, talking to them and just, probably some side interviews and things of that nature. But, if the opportunity presents itself, I think they have a red carpet, maybe going live, like on the red carpet and something like that. I think live could be a great opportunity. But other than that, just looking forward to making a lot of good content for the website, for the podcast. We'll probably end up making kind of like a recap video, going to kind of try to vlog the experience of doing something like this. I think that's something that, people could get a kick out of, like, hey, what is it like, the process and the behind the scenes. So I think I'm going to do something like that as well. But just really going in there, just not exactly knowing what to expect. And that's what I love. And that's the fun part of, being an entrepreneur and doing these kind of things. So
heck
cool.
Yeah, that's really cool. All right. Well, just remember us after you get famous. Okay.
Yeah. Sounds good. I'm bringing you guys with me to Vegas.
Cool, man. That sounds awesome. So anything else fun to announce from the world of Pivot?
Nothing. That's probably one of the bigger things. We got a lot of cool stuff cooking with, just testimonials and podcasts and things of that nature. Just really cool to kind of be at the point now in the business where, we're getting more and more referrals of other people we're working with. So that's always nice. Getting inbound leads is always just a nice thing. So I got some of that going on. But other than that, just kind of, chugging through our projects here. We usually have a new project every week. That's our main focus. And then, our daily shows and things like that. But nothing too new. You said you had a pretty big day though. What went on in your world? Yeah,
so I had an IT discovery meeting this morning. So at the local nonprofit that kind of serves a pretty sizable portion of the state. And again, they're engaged with somebody else that they're not happy with. So, if it gets to the point where we're working with them, I'll kind of talk a little bit more candidly about who that is. But that was a really good meeting.
Nice.
The person I met with was the CEO. She's fantastic, very cordial, very professional. But also you could tell she's frustrated with their situation. So, they're IT managed service provider, MSP in particular. She feels like they've just gotten a little bit too big and they don't respond well. They're not super respectful and they're not very, I guess you could say, understandable in their communication style. So what happens a lot of times with IT vendors is they, technicians speak the way they speak to each other, to clients, and clients just don't get it. Not everybody on the other end of a computer situation is super technical. They're just using their device to do what they need to do for work and they just want it to work. So they're going through a few things that are frustrating and they're at a point where they're possibly looking to move on. So, that was a good meeting. The positives are, they're used to working with an MSP. They understand how it works. They want to work with a different one. So that works in our favor. I think I did a good job of establishing rapport and kind of making a fast friend, building some trust there. I was familiar with the organization that they're currently working with. Not that it's a bad organization. I just their style of managing their customers precedes itself. I've been around long enough in this market to have run across them a few times and understand most of the time what folks are frustrated when they're looking to leave. So that puts me in a position to be a counselor as well as a consultant. You know what I mean? Like, it's going to be okay. We've been through this before. I can coach you through it, kind of thing. And then on the I wouldn't say negative, but on the kind of the other side of that, the challenge is going to be this company is notorious for. That's funny. My computer's telling me I'm getting a call from Collins, Wisconsin. Collins literally is a little town in Wisconsin, but nobody would be calling me from Collins. Anyway, that needs to talk to me. Anyway, the challenge is this company has the habit of really locking their clients into a very strong, hard to get out of contract. And they're notorious for re-upping those contracts, when the clients forget that it's going to happen. So, she's at a place where she thinks that she might be in that window where she would have already missed her opportunity to give notice. And if that's the case, we'll have to wait another year. That could be a bummer, but we'll see. We'll see how that turns out. Either way, we're going to move forward with doing assessments on all their locations so that we have all the data, all the information when they are ready to make a change. We'll do that. So that was a good one. And they're pretty good size. I didn't realize they had as many employees as they do. So it would be a substantial income if we do end up working with those folks. And then kind of turned around, drove about an hour and a half or so away to a little town called Fox Lake and the manufacturer there. And smaller opportunity, but still strong opportunity. Similar situation. They've got an MSP out of the Madison area that's the person I met with. He feels like they've just grown so much. They've acquired a lot of little MSPs across the country, and they don't do a good job of serving anymore. So when he calls in or puts in a ticket, whoever answers, whoever gets sent to doesn't know anything about them. They've been with them for 3 years. They're not very big. It should be easy to kind of pull them up in your system and know what's going on. But he just feels like he's not getting what he's paid for anymore. So in his situation, similar, he's ready to look at different options or he wouldn't have been meeting with me. But at the same time, he thinks he has to give like 6 months. He's got like a 6-month window for changing up or leaving a contract. So that could be 6 months from now before we get that deal. So that's a little frustrating because, man, you don't like to sit on something that long because emotions can change. And when people get wind of the fact that you want to leave, they start to clean up their act a little bit. You know what I mean? You give them that much time to clean up their act, then all of a sudden you forget how bad things were. So,
exactly.
So no, it was a good day. If I had 2 of those type of meetings every day, man, I wouldn't have to worry about all the other stuff that I end up caught up in. So
nice. Love to hear it.
So that was good. Anything business-wise going on in the world today that we should discuss? I'm trying to think. Oh, there was one thing. I heard it when I was driving. Oh, did you hear that the federal government is taking like a 10 or 11% stake in Intel?
Interesting.
And the
Okay,
way
I did not hear that.
the way they're doing that, apparently Intel owed them a ton of money to the tune of like 11 point something billion dollars or more. I can't remember what the number was, but a lot of money in grants. So they were granted in a couple of grants, a bunch of money to help them get some stuff done when they were having trouble making ends meet. And they haven't been able to come, clean and pay off those, because grants are really just loans from the government, right?
Yeah.
They haven't been able to pay those back. So the administration asked if they would consider converting what they owed into stock, and they went along with it. So it's still kind of getting written up, but if and when it's confirmed, it'll give the U.S. federal government a little over a 10% ownership of Intel.
Interesting. Okay.
It doesn't, apparently I was reading about this. It doesn't give them a board seat or anything like that, but it makes them the largest shareholder of Intel.
Interesting. Okay.
So, and that's something that the U.S. government typically hasn't gotten involved in.
Yeah. No, I don't think I've seen anything really, because Intel's a public company too.
Correct.
Right, I believe.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. That's really interesting.
Yep, that is correct. So I think that, I don't know how I feel about that.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Definitely, I think, my first mind goes is, government should stay kind of out of business, but, I'm not sure. I mean, if it's for the better of things, or I'm not sure the whole details of it, but it sounds like it might have been kind of like a bailout almost. But not. Yeah, I'm not sure how I feel about that. I guess since we haven't seen it before, kind of hard to tell. But I guess only time will tell with something like this.
Yeah, and like, what does something like that do to a company that's supposed to be a publicly owned company, and the decision making process to do this, do that, or do the other thing, right?
Yep, exactly.
And and think about the government is every 4 to 8 years, it changes. So policies change, people change. Agendas change, you know what I mean? So,
yep.
And if those agendas affects a big public company like Intel, I don't know. I'm not,
yep.
Not 100. I haven't had time to think it through and look at different opinions on it. But at first I was like, oh, cool. I don't know. And then the more I've, thought about it a little bit, it's like, man, kind of torn on it. I'll have to hear some smart people talk about it.
Yep, exactly. Exactly.
And that's not quite me.
Yep. Yeah. Not me either. I don't know all that stuff all that too well.
Yeah. So that's the biggest thing I heard about today. What about you?
What did I hear? I'm not sure. Nothing really too new in my world that I've kind of heard. Trying to think. Wasn't there something might have acquired something, or I feel like I saw acquisition news or maybe something like that. I think the only big thing I saw is, I guess, Keurig and Dr. Pepper are splitting ways because they just bought, what did Keurig just buy? Oh, they bought PEET'S, that coffee company PEET'S. So I guess Keurig bought PEET'S, and it was always Keurig, Dr. Pepper, and I guess now they're splitting. That's the only really big business news I've heard, I guess.
So how was Keurig and Dr. Pepper related? Were they just in a partnership?
I forget which one is the parent. It was either Keurig bought Dr. Pepper or Dr. Pepper bought Keurig a while ago, and they were known for, I think, the past 10 years or so. Keurig Dr. Pepper is the company that was known, and then now it seems like maybe Keurig is bought in PEET'S and is now separating, from my limited understanding.
Huh. Let's find out. Yeah, I never knew that. It's like those beverage companies, man, they're into everything, or they try to get into everything.
Yeah, they had a merger in 2018, Keurig and Dr. Pepper. So no one bought
so it was just a merger. So why
I think it was a merger to go public.
So giant $18 billion deal, KDP, Keurig Dr. Pepper is KDP. That's acquires JDE Peet's, has announced all cash acquisition of Dutch coffee giant Peet's for approximately $18 billion. Corporate restructuring. Following the acquisition, KDP will split into two public traded entities. Beverage company focused on soft drinks, Dr. Pepper, 7-Up, Snapple. Okay, this makes sense. Global coffee company. Okay, so together, I mean, I'm just going to try to put together the dots. Together, it made sense for Dr. Pepper and Peet's to be together, bigger purchasing power, blah, 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 right? So together make this big deal, but the entity, even though coffee is a beverage and right, they split apart probably to make sure to take advantage of market focus, right? That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah, that's what I would guess. I think that's probably what happened, just to shift their focuses a little more, because I'm guessing coffee and beverages like soda and the Snapples is probably a way different market approach and marketing in general, demographics, all that good stuff. So
apparently the entity split hasn't happened. It's going to happen. And with the announcement of this, KDP shares dropped 10 to 11%. Steepest decline since 2020. So, what does that tell us? That a lot of people sold shares?
Yeah. Yep. That's what it would seem like. And I mean, I know a lot of the people that have shares are probably employees of the company as well.
So so USB or UBS announced that it's downgrading the price to $35 per share from $40, but it's still considered a buy rating, suggesting confidence in the company's long-term position. Coffee's gone up. They're wondering if that's going to bring the price of coffee down. Wow.
Yeah.
Coffee's gone up 84% per pound since 2021.
That's pretty interesting.
That's nuts.
Yeah, it is.
There you go. That's a big one. I don't know. I've had Peet's coffee before. I remember they used to be able to get there was Peet's shops, right?
Yeah, they had one at my college. They had a Peet's.
Yeah, I don't know that they're around as much as they were. A couple times I tried them. I thought it was pretty good. It's kind of like a Caribou coffee place, right?
Yep.
Kind of trendy and stuff like that. But I think the brand has kind of regressed back to just being buy it at the store kind of stuff.
Yep.
But Peet's must be a pretty good brand if it was worth $18 billion.
Yeah, I know it's in. I know they sell it at the grocery store and things like that. So it seems like a lot of people enjoy it.
Yeah. Are you a coffee guy?
Yeah, I'm a big coffee guy.
What's your favorite coffee?
I get the Starbucks from the grocery store. It's always on sale, and I enjoy that. It's either that or I honestly have Peet's sometimes too, but I'd say Starbucks is my go-to. That's just the Starbucks house blend.
Just the house blend, huh? Cool. So you're kind of just like a regular, not a dark, not a super light, but just maybe a medium roast. Is that what the house blend is?
Sometimes I'll go darker. It just depends. But yeah, the house blend, I'll just can drink it through the day.
Yeah. You know what I didn't know?
What's your go-to?
It depends. I'm pretty much a caffeineaholic. I generally every couple months I have to try to wean myself back a little bit, because if I just let myself go, that's all I'm drinking all day is something with caffeine in it. You know what I mean? So, and I didn't know this originally. I always thought the dark coffees were the higher caffeinated, but they're not. You probably know this if you're a coffee guy. Oh, did you know that?
I did not know that.
Yeah. So apparently the deal is, and folks that see this or listen to this, correct me in the comments or however you want, call me a knucklehead. But this is what I learned, that a darker roast is roasted longer and hotter, and it roasts a lot of that caffeine potency away. Makes it a darker coffee. When you burn something, it gets darker, right? A lighter roast retains more of the caffeine from the coffee.
Okay.
That's why if you think about it, and it makes sense, your breakfast blends, people want more caffeine in the morning, right? You want a big kick of caffeine in the morning. Your breakfast blends are always the light blends. So when you go like Starbucks, when I get Starbucks, I'll always ask for the light blend. And like the Americano light blend or something, right? Just because it's got the higher caffeine. But yeah, the lighter the coffee, the higher the caffeine content.
Interesting.
Just a little did you know? Yeah.
Yeah.
Because you think about it, dark, thick, more caffeine, right?
Yeah.
Like a Guinness has a little stronger than a Bud. You know what I mean? So.
Yep.
But no, apparently coffee is a little bit different. But as far as favorite, I like Dunkin'. I'm a Dunkin' guy. If I'm out and about and I'm like, gosh, I need some coffee, I'm looking for a Dunkin'.
Yep. Dunkin's good. I like them.
Yeah, not that I dislike the taste or anything of a Starbucks coffee. I'm just not a huge fan of the Starbucks experience.
Yep.
You know?
Yeah. I don't think I've been into a Starbucks in maybe 3 years. I haven't been to I went to Dunkin' when I was at the airport the other day. So when I'm out, I'll probably get Dunkin' over Starbucks.
Yeah.
But when I'm at home and I have, for my coffee maker, I'm getting the Starbucks house blend. But when I'm out, I'm probably a Dunkin' guy too, I'd say.
Oh yeah. It's just, I don't know, like whether I'm in the drive-through, like my wife likes to stop every once in a while, or the kids are with me and they like me to get Starbucks, and I'll get them like one of those vanilla bean Frappuccino frozen things. Those things are delicious. But
yeah.
Which I don't think there's any coffee in those, like ice cream. But
it's a milkshake, essentially.
Right,
yeah.
Basically, yeah. The thing melts and it's like a milkshake.
Yep.
But like whether I'm in the drive-thru, I go up the counter. I don't go there often enough to know like all the lingo and the etiquette and stuff like that. So I always feel like a tool up at the counter because I'm like, okay, I know I want like a small black coffee, but I gotta use like the jargon, right? So I need if I want it to be, low fat milk or cream, I gotta say skinny, and because if I don't say those things, you can see it in the face of the person behind the other side, like, oh, I'm talking to a rookie here. This noob doesn't know what he's doing, So, and as silly as it sounds, I'd rather just, like I said, hit up a Dunkin' and just be like, I just need a coffee with some, no sugar sweetener and some cream or something, you know what I mean? And I just can talk regular English to get my coffee, but I'll usually get, like, for the office here, I don't drink much coffee around the office anymore. It's usually like later in the day that I'm doing stuff and I'll have like an energy drink, but I'd always keep like the Dunkin' ground, to make in the coffee machine. Or as far as the Keurig and stuff here, they just buy the cheap generic stuff. It's usually like the donut shop blend from Walmart or something.
Yep. I'm still a coffee pot guy here. I love my pot.
Yeah, I like a pot of coffee too. Yeah. I think it's, I mean, Keurigs are okay if you're in it, but it's not the same, I don't think. I just,
Yep.
Then at the end of the day, it's been cooking for a while. It's a little bit sludgier and like.
Yeah. Especially in an office, like you're saying, where people are probably using it throughout the day. But I did just go home, and my parents, their Keurig can make iced coffee now. That's what I was
really?
So that was pretty interesting.
Do they just stick a thing of ice underneath the thing and it just shoots it out? Is it something different?
I don't know. I don't test it for whatever reason. It might be placebo or whatever, but hot coffee, I think, just gives me more of that caffeine rush, and it might just be because it's hot. Could be placebo. I don't know. If I'm drinking an iced coffee, it's more for the enjoyment and for the taste. I'll get some milk in it, but if I'm in the morning, I just like a good hot cup of black coffee. And but so I didn't try it while I was there, but I would assume you either put ice in or there's some sort of mechanism that brews it with cold water.
Maybe.
Or I'm not sure how it works. I should have tested it, but I was like, whoa, what is this contraption here?
Yeah, we when we first opened the business, we bought a coffee pot, and it was a Ninja brand one, and it would do iced coffee too. And you had to put a special special pot under it. It was a different shape, and you filled that thing with ice. But then, I think you would pour cold water into it or something, and it wouldn't turn the burner on and that kind of stuff. But another thing I heard too, I don't know if this is true, we're into a coffee conversation here, is I heard that the best coffee, even if you brew it hot, you put ice cold water into the machine to run it to brew. That's what I heard.
Interesting.
I don't know if that's true or not. Somebody told me that, but I don't know. But I would.
Yeah, well, I know you're not supposed to like use really hot water out of the tap anyways, because of just all the crap that could come with the hot water. But that makes sense, I guess. Yeah.
I don't know what it does, but true or not, I don't know.
2 things I learned about coffee.
Maybe.
Coffee segment of the day.
I could be totally full of it too. Just remember that. So, but we could go with it and just pretend that it's true. And whatever. Smarter because
YouTube
of it.
Bans us to be like spreading misinformation.
Right. we get a check mark here, like fact checked.
All the lobbyists of the coffee makers come after us.
Yeah. Anyway, all right, man. Well, that's about all I got for today. I'm super happy for you, dude. I can't wait. Is it this weekend that you're going, or is it next, or when are you going?
Yeah, so it's this upcoming weekend. So I'll head there tomorrow. I'm head there tomorrow afternoon. Got a flight at like 2, I think. So I'll kind of get there in the evening. Probably have some nice dinner and just kind of get settled in, get my plan, and then the day of is Saturday. I think coverage starts maybe around 3 Pacific. I believe what it is. So I'll shoot you a link whenever it goes live. It's pretty interesting.
Yeah, shoot me a link.
Cool, because I'll
check it out.
Yeah, you got NFL players, you got basketball players, you got influencers, and they're all playing poker. Some of them don't know how to play.
Yeah,
I mean, they're even reality stars and all that stuff, because they're really trying to make it more of a mainstream thing. Also get the woman demographic a little more involved too, with kind of this celebrity reality. So yeah, I'll shoot you a link when it goes live, and then it'll be on all our socials as well.
Dude, we'll check it out. I'll check it out. That's cool. All right, man. Well, hey, travel safe. I'm not going to be recording tomorrow. I'm going to take the day off, take the family to the water park. So you'll be traveling.
And then Monday's Labor Day.
Labor Day.
Probably not be.
Yeah, we won't have a show on Labor Day either. So enjoy the long weekend. Be safe. Vegas is a crazy place, man. I know you've been there.
Yep.
Don't do anything I would, but have fun.
Yeah. Sounds good.
All right, man.
I appreciate it. And you have a great weekend as well. And I'll see you guys on Tuesday.
Sounds great.
Awesome. Take care, guys.